Well, all right. I'm Dr. Beaver. How are you? Let's learn how to use tremendous tone blocks to set up your Floyd Rose equipped guitar. Of course, we've got the Floyd Rose right here. I've set this up like a typical guitar. It's missing a couple of strings. The bridge is sinking down a little bit in the body. It's certainly out of tune. So this is the way a lot of folks' guitars look because they don't really know how to string the guitar up properly, to set it up, and to keep the Floyd Rose working like it's supposed to. Floyd Rose is a great bridge, but most people just don't understand how to do the initial stringing and setup of it. And that's why we invented tremendous tone blocks. Tremendous tone blocks can both simply block off your tremolo if you want to completely block it off, or we can use it to tune the guitar and do the initial setup and make life a lot easier for you. So grab the instructions that came with your tremendous tone blocks, and we're going to go step by step. First instruction is remove the back tremolo cavity cover. We've already done this, it's off. The second one is to unlock the string tensioners, or the string retaining nuts up here at the top. So those have been unlocked. We can remove them if changing strings, and I am going to be changing strings. So we're going to take those off and set them over here where they don't get lost. If you're not changing strings, you don't have to do this step. You can just simply loosen these up so there's no tension on them. The third step, in the back, the tremolo claw, we're going to unscrew these screws 4 turns of the wrist. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're not going to remove the claw. If you're unscrewing it and a screw happens to come out, just screw it back in a couple of turns. That's all you have to do. All right, step 4, if you're changing strings, do it now. I am changing strings, so I'm not going to make you watch this. We're going to speed through it or cut. Okay, folks, we're back. We've got the strings changed out. If you are not changing strings again, you skip to step 5, and you would just tune all your guitar strings down by 1 full tune of the tuning pegs. Since I have changed strings, I'm going to take the opportunity to stretch them out before we do anything else. All you simply do is you put some tension on the guitar. There's a little bit of tension on the strings, and I'm just going to go down each string like this. So I don't have quite enough tension, any tension on that one really, so we're going to tune it up a little bit so we get some tension on it. I'm just going to stretch it. The bridge will move up and down. That's perfectly fine. This is a very important step, not only for Floyd Rose bridges, but if you're just tuning a Strat or anything else and changing the strings, you really have to pre-stretch your strings before you fully tune them up. Okay, I've gone through all of them. I'm going to put a tiny bit more tension, just about a quarter of a turn on all the strings, and I'm going to do it again. Go back down to each string and stretch it some. Your fingers will hurt a little bit after you get done doing this. That's perfectly normal. That's what we want. If you just tune your strings up and expect that to work, it's not going to. You're going to have problems. Alright, so we've stretched all our strings out. We've done step 6. I want you to take the fine tuners, and I want you to back them all the way out until they reach their limit. And then I want you to run them back down by about 3 or 4 turns, a good 3 or 4 turns, probably 3. As the strings are played, they will start to loosen up, so you'll have to tune these up. You'll have to increase the tension on these a little bit, so you want to have some room, but you might also have to back out on the strings, so you want a little bit of room where you can unscrew these, but you want to have a good bit of play in them. Okay. Now step 7. We'll try different combinations of the tiny tremendous tone blocks. What we want to do is we want to end up kind of where we are now. Just by luck, the bridge is almost completely flat and parallel with the top of the body. It can go for just a tiny little bit more to make it flat, but we're going to try different combinations of these blocks. We have two different sizes. We have 1/8 inch blocks and we have 1/16 inch blocks, and there are tiny little differences in the thickness of these. So if one block is just a tiny bit off, switch it out and try another block and see if that helps. But what we want to do is we're going to insert these in this back cavity here. We want enough blocks, or the right size of blocks, where when the blocks are held in place and retained by the string tension, it keeps this bridge perfectly flat and level with the top of the body. So what I'm going to do is I've grabbed a random bunch here. This can be a little awkward, you can see. So I'm going to stick those in here. I'm going to see where we're at. All right, now that made the bridge sink down a little bit. So we're going to have to take a little bit of one of the blocks out. I'm going to take a thick block out. I'm going to try this. All right. Now, it's not quite enough. So we're going to add a skinny block. Insert these in. Now I can see when I have these, I'm holding them in the back, they're in there, and I'm pressing the bridge down, the bar down, which mimics string tension. As we add tension to the strings, it's going to try to pull the bridge up like this. So that's what I'm mimicking. And when I've got good tension on it, the blocks are held in place, and now this bridge plate is completely flat and parallel. So now when I let go, the blocks fall out, so that's not what we want. There are two things we can do here, according to the directions. We can take a little bit of tension off the claw springs in the back, or we can add a little tension to the strings. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to add just a little tension here on all the strings. The blocks are still loose, I can feel that, so I'm going to add a little bit more tension. Okay, now the blocks are held in place. I don't know if you can see it, but the bridge plate is flat with the top of the body, so that's where we want to be. All right. If you need to use the clear Lexan strips, these are for fine tuning, but I think right now I don't need them. Okay. Now let's go to step 8. We found the right combination of blocks. We're going to leave them in place behind the tremolo block. Again, if the blocks don't stay in place, you can unscrew the back claw screws one time each, or add a little bit of tension on across your tuners. All right. Now we tune the guitar up fully in the playing position, and I am going to now use my cord. Plug into the guitar, and we're going to go into this tuner. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Okay. Now, my tuner is not working. Okay, now we're going to tune everything up to pitch in the playing position. Again, this will be a little bit awkward. Top string, we're almost there. Second string. A. D. A little sharp there. D. G. B. And E. Okay, we're very roughly in tune. Now what we're going to do is stretch the strings again. A quick stretch down each one of them. The more times you stretch them, the better. So if you want to stretch them again, that's fine. Okay, back into the playing position. Where are we at? They've loosened up some more. So we get back up to E. There's E. There's A. D. G. D, and E. And go back over them again. E, A, D, G, B, and E. Now, we are in tune. Okay. Next, that was step 9. We tuned it up fully in the playing position. If you want to use flat tuning, tune it to E flat. If you want to use drop D, tune it to drop D. Whatever you plan on ending up the tuning that you want to use, that's what you tune it up to right now. So we've got it in standard tuning, that's where we're going to stay. When fully in tune, step 10, lock down one nut retainer starting on the D and high E string. So we'll do the D and high E to make sure we're perfectly in tune. B is a little sharp. So B and E, they're in tune, so we're going to lock that retainer down. Tighten it down a little bit more. We're going to see what our tuning is now. So B is in tune. E is in tune. So we're good there. Next we'll move on to the next 2 strings. D is in tune. G is in tune. So we'll lock that string retainer down. Tighten it up a little bit. That's locked down. Let's check the tuning. It's a little bit off. G is in tune. And the D is in tune too. Okay. Quick note, if I had locked this string retainer down and the string had gone very sharp, what you need to check is this bar right here. Ideally, you want the strings to come over the top of the nut and then be pulled down. If your strings are coming over the top of the nut and they're not being pulled down, when you lock the string retainer down, it's going to squeeze and press that string down, it's going to sharpen it. So if you have a string tree like this, you need to make sure it's tightened down where the strings are coming across the nut and then they're going down to the tuning pegs. And that will take care of that. If you don't have a string retainer, you might need to get one. That's very important. So we've got the next 2. We're going to go to the E and A string next. E string is in tune. A is in tune. So we're going to lock that one down, see how we are. Oops. Lock it down nice and tight. A, E's in tune. A's in tune. Yeah, everything's in tune. Check the chord. Okay, we're in tune. Alright, so we've gone through step 10, we've got everything locked down. We go to step 11. When all nut retainer screws are locked down, with all the strings in tune, we can remove the tremendous tone blocks in the back. So we'll pull those out. Okay, and the bridge went down. Now the bridge has raised up a little bit, and everything's out of tune. That's where we want to be. Okay, now we move on to step 12. We're going to check in the playing position here. Again, this can be a little bit awkward, so do the best you can. But step 12, we're going to check the A string in the playing position and see if it's in tune. It's badly flat. That's where we want to be. Now, we want to start tightening these screws in the back until we get the A string into perfect tune. You're going to tighten each of them a little bit at the time. And a good way to cheat is I can see that the bridge is sticking up a little bit. It's not perfectly flat, it's going up a little bit. So I'm going to give it a couple of turns of each screw. and I can see that the bridge is slowly coming down to where it needs to be. So I'm going to tighten up a little bit more on each one of these. We're getting very close. So the bridge has come down where it's almost flat. I'm going to check the tuning on the A string. We're not there yet. We're going to have to come up some more. So I'm going to add some more tension to the back. 1, 2. Let's see, you can see what I'm doing here. Turning each of these strings, each of these screws a couple of times to add tension. The bridge has come down a little bit more, but it's probably not in tune. It's getting there, so we're going to have to add more tension. 1, 2. 1, 2. The bridge is still coming down. Check the tuning. We're almost there. I can see it's almost at an A. So we're almost there. I'm going to add just a half a turn on each one of these. Let's check tuning again. We're very close. So now we're just going to creep up on it. I'm just going to turn these 1/4 of a turn. Check tuning on the A string. Very close. Another tiny little turn. Check tuning on the A string. So we went a little too far. So I'm going to back off on these just a tiny bit. Back off on those, take some tension off. Let's check our tuning. Dead on. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe where you can see. So we're dead on the A string. I'm going to grab well, I don't have a pick behind me, but let's strum a chord. We're in tune. D, all the strings are in tune. G, D, A. We're in tune. Can you see? The bridge is flat and parallel with the body. You can whammy it. Pull up. Tuning. We're in tune. D, A. That's all there is to it, folks. This is the benefit of tremendous tone blocks. It lets you set it up easily and then match the string tension to the spring tension in the back. Once those two are equal, your Floyd Rose will always stay in tune. These are wonderful bridges if you understand how they work and how to set them up and keep them in tune. But now you have tremendous tone blocks, so you can do it too with no frustration. You see how easy this was? I'm in tune. There's no going back and forth and tuning up and the bridge raising up and then tuning up more and the bridge moving constantly. You're constantly fighting back and forth with these things. But now with tremendous tone blocks, you don't have to worry about that. So where are we? We've gone through all the steps. When again, step 13, when that second string, the A string, is perfectly in tune, the rest of the strings will be in tune. Now again, if you had chosen to put the guitar in A flat tuning, you don't tune to A, you tune to A flat, whatever you had chosen. If you tune to drop D, your second string should still be in A. But whatever tuning that you choose, when you have the tone blocks in the bag, you'll get the same tuning when they're removed if you've done everything right. Step 14, you're done. Save the tone blocks. Whatever group of blocks that you use for this guitar, you can wrap a piece of tape around them, wrap a rubber band around them if you want to keep them and use them for this exact guitar. Again, you can do that. If you're going to tune up another guitar, change the strings on another guitar, you're going to need a different set of blocks. If you have another guitar, like a Strat perhaps, a cheaper guitar, and the tremolo does not stay in tune no matter what you do, you can also use the tremendous tone blocks to block that tremolo off and turn it into a hardtail guitar. And hopefully that will fix your tuning problems if the tuning problems were related to the Floyd Rose or the bridge itself. So we're done. Go and check us out at audiobeaver.com. I am Dr. Beaver. It's been very nice talking with you. If you need to make an appointment to see me again, I'm online. Thank you.